Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Carry On at Cush, Eugene, Oregon, United States of America, right here, right now. Can I get a poetry amen? Amen. Thank you. How are you all tonight?
Lovely.
Wow, wow. More banter than I've ever heard from this year. All right, why am I being so weird? Yeah, same to you, James. Got a little camera up here. Broadcasting on YouTube right now live. My director says to move to stage left. So if you move out of the general zone, you won't be immortalized. But we're going to do this every week, and we're dialing it in this week. So if it seems a little hinky, it is. But with it now. He was telling me to go stage left, which is to my right. Stage directions are backwards. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there goes my poem. All right. Thank you. Thank you. That is called Airborne Poem Number 1 by Cush. All right. So there are rules in poetry, if not life. One is, here on this stage, we're democratic. I set the timer at 7 minutes. The iPhone is merciless. So if you hear this noise, which will wait till someone goes over the limit, you will be booed off stage. You will be asked to leave. I'm held to it. Everyone's held to it. It's a hard, fast 7. You don't have to use all your 7, and I have been encouraging you not to use all your 7 so that more people can be heard. We've got a lot of people on the list tonight. Everyone here is reading, and so let's be brisk and bring your best and shine. So I want to say something, because I can. When in doubt, when fearful, when everything is telling you not to write the poem, write the goddamn poem. It is important. You are not important, I'm not important, but we are important. We are carrying something forward, we're keeping something alive, we're breathing life into the future. And I believe this. This is no jive. So if you're up on this stage, don't tell us about how bad your poem is. Tell us you're going to knock us out and do it. This is your house. This is for us. And whoever wants to watch, hi. Okay, I'm going to start with a poem. And I'm under 7 minutes. It's actually 5.5. Maybe it'll be a little quicker. This is the first poem I wrote in what I think is my authentic voice, and I knew it when I wrote it. I was 24, that's 21 years ago. I may not agree with the sentiment anymore, but I agree with the voice. Honestly falling. To become unknown. A traveler with my head down. Forging an alliance with the ghost of memory to quietly forget my name. There is nobody to hear me cry. No one knocking on my door when I want them to, when I would let them in. The hand is never hers, the hand is never hers. Though I have knelt nightly, burning incense to call her, have sacrificed my flesh, literally cut myself with knife in offering, have spilt blood, and still the wind blows no name. No name to echo off of rock faces as I dip my sweaty head in the river and call, come look, this is a beautiful river, come look, there is no name. I have walked with a burden since I was a small boy. Now I'm a man with a crooked back, perfectly contoured by the tears that have rolled down my face in an endlessly unforgettable stream. When I'm curled on my floor and a non-self indulgent fetal position of true terror. When the ability of alcohol or grass, quaaludes, or cough medicine is less powerful than the memory of me curled in the same position at 4 years old, with my fragile limbs curled so tightly around my head, my quest for a dark place too high, a crack in the floor too slide, a crack in the hard edges of this world, a crack in this world between the wood chair and sofa to escape into. I have found this crack, and I am telling you of this crack right now. How it looks darker the more light you shine on it. How it has battered my head with its hard hands. How it has stripped me to a level like this where I can tell you about it. I am honestly falling through holes in the floor. I am honestly falling through a black darkness punctuated by creatures strangely lit. I am honestly falling into the shadow of my soul, the thing I call my soul, that is hunting for this crack to fall into, but I will not let it. Will not let it. No, I won't. Will not let it, even though I have lived a life of bitter isolation, cut off from even my own crack. This crack has the gravity of 10,000 suns, pulling. They are dark suns. They have massive gravity. And so do I. And so do you. And that's the poem. Turn that down a bit. All right, let's roll. Michael Hess. Come to the stage, please, Michael Hess. Go, Michael. Go. Clock is ticking.
There it is. Maybe you shouldn't trust me after all. Who am I? Just another man? Yes. There it is. Just another man. Acting out in that age-old way. Acting out. Yes. There it is, playing both ends against the middle. Playing both ends against the middle. Acting out. Yes. There it is. Both sides of the fence. Both sides of the fence. Playing both ends against the middle. Acting out. Yes. There it is. Have my cake and eat it too. That's right. Have my cake. Both sides of the fence. Playing both ends against the middle. Acting out. Yes. There it is. What beautiful eyes you have. What beautiful eyes you have, my cake. Both sides of the fence. Acting out. Yes. There it is. What beautiful eyes you have. Can we make love? Can we make love? What beautiful eyes you have. Have my cake. Both sides of the fence, playing both ends against the middle, acting out. Yes. There it is. What beautiful eyes you have. Can we make love? Can we make love? Thank you.
I'll make love. Make love, not war, Michael. That's right. That's how you do it. You get up, you do your poem, we go on to the next. James, come on up here. Are you ready? Better be. That James. You're the only James. That's Jeremy. Get up here, James. You're wasting your time.
My time hasn't started. No fair. None of that. Doesn't start till you're on the stage.
All right.
And you're prepared.
Well, now I'm wasting James's time.
All right.
Oh, look at him go. He ready. He's the wolfman of poetry. Woo! Look out, James.
The eyes need hills, and we are those eyes. Once upon a lifetime ago, our house had history. It was pre-Victorian, lace starvation-driven wealth. Now we sleep here on our rusty spring mattresses, cold and hopeless, modifying our bird-watching binoculars for the sake of highway robbery. We wait just above that strip of road inhabited by the fantastic swarms flying arachnids. It was easy to gather the right materials to survive alone on a hill with no food, no plumbing, and no need for casual conversation. The mule deer are lesser every week. Our stomachs eat themselves eternally. The hunger came fast. We ate all the berries we could find. Our humanity crashed eloquently around us. Lonely creatures, once human. Formally ready with a greeting of road spikes and shot out tires. The chase is the essential part of knowing whether your prey is worn down enough but athletic enough to feed your kin. That meal was once human. Then again, so were we. That's why we wear our Disney fan club hats. The leader is Mickey. Swarming down the steep incline. Don't bother pretending to help. Just give them a mini head start. Maybe let them look around confused. This is why nets and road snares are so useful. There is a need for travelers on an empty back road. Used to be something to murmur about. Now it's practically the Olympics. The great hunt. It's sad what happens when gardens die, where there are more unmarked graves. But not from those who were hit by semis, but those who used to ask us, "Why are you doing this? Please." Please what? Please kill you fast so you don't see that former life drift away? There are no sheriffs. No FBI, nothing. This is how people survive in a world without resources, without sustenance. How am I supposed to act after shooting Old Yeller every morning, then baking him, and fighting over who gets what? No need for table manners. We don't have time for silverware. Everything about ourselves was ugly. We had no choice but to smash our mirrors. Along with any of those horror movies we grew up on. Would we want to do these things? By the long, pale worms of the night, we would sooner stop dreaming. Forget these memories. But those other thoughts, they're just too much. So we pretend that we aren't trapping people, not eating bugs, just surviving, still living comfortably, coughing on wood smoke. There is no time for false hospitality. When everybody Even the lone drivers are ready for the worst. They might even kill and eat us. Demonize what we do just to get by. Mad human disease is no joke.
We would rather quit dreaming. What was that line? We would even rather quit dreaming or something. Anyway, get back to me on that. I like that. I never know. Well, I'm gonna say something like James. So I never know exactly what he's talking about, but I love his line. Yeah, right. I'm never actually sure where I'm in some H.P. Lovecraft world, but the lines are knockout. All right, good job, Dan. Coming up, we got Dan, Laura, Roy. Coming up next. So Dan, come on up here. Brother. Hey, knock 'em dead, Dan.
All right. I'm looking for scraps and bits of language I can elevate, but my weightiness has left me rightly and in a state of non-levitation. I scramble for that vapor ghost image before it disappears, without surprise, grasping the turf as it tangles and trips me into an unfamiliar landing. No ground whirls, the shifting silence that creates the beat of the great what if.
Yes.
The ironic nothingness taunts consciousness for validation, knowing it will vaporize in laughter when released. Suggestions, absurd expressions for reality. Minority rules the loudest, and you won't get a clue until you're at least 10 years older than you are now.
Awesome.
Here I am, Gorgon knotted, liliputed by the ropes of my own beliefs, unable to move. Stillness, riding bound, what's, where's, and when's brought down to now. And something's got to change. I can see it in my eyes, in the mirror as I work the lather into my beard and shave. And likewise, tight skirt singing with pantyhose backup, a voluptuous melodic rhythm reverberated before her. You bet he heard her coming. Of course he looked up as she arpeggiated into the elevator. He used his hand to stop the door. She said, "Thank you." He said, "What floor?"
Thank you.
Dan gets the 50-cent word award first tonight. He used arpeggiated. Arpeggiated. Five syllables. Not bad. Yeah, five good. Five good. Lycanthrope. No, that's not even close. We got Laura Roy Stephen. Come on up, Laura. Rock and roll, girl.
Well, I'll give it my best shot.
Yeah.
And since you read your first poem you ever wrote, I'm going to read mine.
Great. I love it.
It's from a beauty, which is fairy tales, called Wolf Tales. Still, she is the first snow, scarlet cape cascading, pooling at her dainty feet. Bite my neck, she coos. Remember the woods? Beneath a succulent breast, her heart quivering, yearning, I spied her sashaying through the trees. Such a tease, cherries jubilee. Suddenly shy, I hustle to her. She feels me. Moaning softly, she cries out, "Eat me?" God, those were the days. Chuckling, Gran sleeping over. I remember.
Where were you when I was writing my poem? Awesome. All right.
And I'm going to read two more. uncontested airspace, and this is based on a drawing by Robert Tomlinson. There is only the dust and the wind, the sun. You have left your lover. Possibly he's the one that left you. You drive to the Black Rock Desert, stopping in Reno for fried chicken and ice. You are on a dry lake bed, the largest piece of land on earth. You set up camp. Objects disappear below the horizon. Cars mirage into spacecrafts. Nothing lives here but scorpions and rattlesnakes. You build a rocket, a large, dangerous rocket. You want to blow things up. You put on your pink hard hat, launch your rocket with 16 others, set out to retrieve it, fix it, attempt to launch it again. At night, people launch rockets from base camp. You drink some cheap scotch, refuse to sleep, fearing a rain of shredded metal. You dream you are soaking in a mountain lake. You wake up with your hard hat on, dredged in dust, waiting to be baked. You have never been happier. And keeping with science, the L5 Society, which is from the olden days when we were going to put men and people on Mars. 1981. It was spring. It was Kansas City. It was a science fiction convention, Conquest to be precise. It was all I could do not to head straight towards you, not to rip off your caramel-colored bomber jacket, white t-shirt tucked tight, black jeans, black Converse high tops, sink my teeth into you by way of introduction. In the middle of the conference, it was all I could do to convince myself it wouldn't really matter if you weren't exactly smart. My segue to the booth, the smell of you, Ben and Jerry's, incredible beyond homemade taste vanilla, and still I convinced myself not to wrench the clipboard out of your hands, not to stick my tongue down your throat, even though I knew we would, even though you were smart, even though I knew I'd have to give you back, even as your index finger fractioned down the length of mine by way of introduction.
Awesome. Come here, Ron. Come here. I want you. One handshake, however you want it. Yeah, let's keep rolling. We got a lot of poems here and there. Oh, good. Aren't they good, folks? Now you'll be able to be seen on the internet live from On At Cush in Eugene, Oregon. Come on, Roy. Get up here. Oh, that's not Roy. So this on number 3 in the big senior lineup. 12 December 1973 is seen on 12 December 2013. We were sucked into a lovely group activity, a clusterfuck in the making. Radio squawk, I can't get you out of it, Sergeant. Me and my 5 Marine Corps recon louse, can't recall where. Bundled on an old cork, the memory burst to the surface this afternoon. Old bark, bleeding thick sap. 85 began that day, 15 left breathing at the end. We were at the center. Green officers, bunched men, left flank in the open, sought a slot to high ground. A combat green colonel said it was so. Perched high above in the slick, yes, sir, the only available answer. Bad guys mortared, pre-locked, filleted 40 men in a blink. White phosphorus welded groups of 5, 6 together. Their own grenades helped things along. A dog tag and a boot, should decapitation occur, melted neatly into foot bones. It struck me today could well match dusty bronze shoes on mantle. Back in the world, we called it. The Greens Colonel Slick took an RPG round in the guts. Fuel full, gunners hung on tethers and flames clawed the air.
Well, you shut these lights off just in time for the old guy.
Oh, no.
Rocket pods blew, Patty water took the impact, quenched it all. Cold, a great sculpture, the green kernel still and seated, radio handset melted in his hand, face. Us, you ask, we knew we were fucked. I caught an officer with a scope for starters. My lad sent a claymore string. We went full on. A year in the bushes will do that. We'll be headed home in 11 days if you don't know it. As if ordered at a drive-through, I pulled an all-American might to end it all. Napalm, gunships, insane floor-covered fighting. How long, asked Dave. We circled up, Patty died, weapons checks, guzzled water, burned camels, passed chocolate bars, picked off a few wounded, crawling for cover. Graves Registry came along with extraction. They had an odd date, weird like Shriners in a parade. Buzzard Head was engraved, but that's another poem. Clipped efficient service, certain each body bag had a correct number of parts, checklist checked, and occasional dry heave, odd chuckle. The fried groups of five pried apart, ID'd somehow, yes, tagged and bagged. The cooked kernel welded to an aircraft seat mount fused to a screen. That said it all. Thank you.
Yeah. There you go. So I turned the lights off because there's a glare on us. And now there's no glare on us. So you can be seen. So sorry about that, Roy. I know I'm being caught up here going, my poem is. So we got Stephen, Karen, Bix. Stephen, get up here.
Turn off your phones.
Well, I didn't have time to prepare one of my performances for tonight, so I'm just going to read three poems for you. Two love poems and a perception. Home. You are like an old familiar song playing on the radio, one that soothes my soul. You make me feel like a comet that's shooting through the sky out of control. Soothe my soul, take me out of control. You are like the dewdrops when they kiss the grass, the way you press your kiss upon my lips. You are like an open highway stretching out in front of me on a long-awaited trip. Press your kiss upon my lips. Take me on a long-awaited trip. You make me feel like I'm touching the stars and it's enough, but you keep me wanting more. You are like a sunset on the shore with colors galore. Keep me wanting more. Give me colors galore. You are like a heater warming my heart on a rainy day. You are like a lighthouse in the fog, showing a lost ship the way. Warm my heart, show me the way home. Like a wet rainbow. Oh, to see the potential of who you are inside. What a flower, what a rose, what a fragrance it could be. To see the colors of you, sparkle, shine, drip all over like a wet rainbow. The layers, the coats could keep you warm forever and could beat the hours of time and the rustiness out of my breath. Depth perception. I'm searching for an answer to the fading crack of dawn, the warmth of daylight waning while the night goes on and on. Do people just get stranger, or is something really wrong? with my depth perception. Interject me with some feeling, signify it with some proof. You can understand the magic that inspired me in my youth and is so hard to come by now. Seems no one has the time to strike the message truly, fit the rhythm to the rhyme. The image is nearly frozen. The cast is almost bronze. The coolness of the chosen ones whose hypnosis goes on in never-ending sitcoms on the ever-prevailing tube until it infiltrates your psyche like a perpetual engine lube. Yeah, I'm still glad you are here, but you're a dim light in a dark room. It's hard to feel you when you are near in all this gathering gloom. Could it be you signify the truth that has been lost? Could it be we're poorer, all the coins that have been tossed? I'm searching for an answer to the fading crack of dawn, the warmth of daylight waning while the night goes on and on. Do people just get stranger, or is something really wrong with my depth of perception?
So there's Steven on a 60-second delay. Look at that! Isn't that cool? That's cool. Stay here, Steven. I need to get a light balance.
Oh, right.
Technical.
Technical.
Alright, let's see here. Let's do this old school. I have a degree in theater lighting.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of.
that's a little more balanced.
I'll get there.
What do you think?
We'll get there. Well, we can still see you, but the question is...
Shit.
Awesome. Great. Thank you,
Okay.
Steven.
Sure.
Okay. So now that we're ready to roll, let's roll. Look at all these people here at On At Cush in Eugene, Oregon. Every Tuesday at 8 o'clock, we're broadcasting live on YouTube. Here's Karen, raring to go. Karen, take it away. Stay up here if you want. Go, Karen. Go, Karen. Do whatever you want, Karen. Karen, you're free.
It's a great night. For those of you who know me, and who don't, I improv a poem when I'm on stage. So whatever comes out of my mouth is not written, but in the space and time. And I hate to say this, but I feel like sitting. And I'm gonna.
Go ahead. You want a chair? Look at that. There's a healthy young man to give you a chair.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Stage hand gets a round of applause. Go, Karen.
Okay. The incompleteness is perhaps like the waves that don't meet the breakers, but just dance along the edges. I feel myself in a tide pool, and I can't explain how the sun might not meet me today, and I might not be there for you tomorrow. I look in the mirror of the ocean and I see all of me, but there's a part of me that isn't there at all. Like those footsteps that have been erased, never to return. I am complete, but I feel that something is missing. There's a part of me that is more than an echo chamber. It is like a vault with no air to breathe, and the words are missing. There's a part of me that doesn't seem to be connected to who you are. I can't explain. So I sit in the bar, nursing a glass of pale club soda. And I sit and I watch you dance. I watch you all in a mirage of life because I choose not to believe I'm here. You know, I really think that if I were to actually look out at you, you ocean nymphs, you seahorses that play, you whales who migrate through my heart, I suppose I could say that I were the seaweed that dances on your skin, that hides you in a camouflage of liquid light. I'm a part. Why then do I say that I'm not? Why do I disconnect myself in ribbons along the sand, as if I weren't actually the sand and the sea and every grain thereof? I don't know. I think my doubt is that vanquishing light of moon against the sun, that eclipse that I have become, that I might not be remembered. And my doubt is fear, and that fear is all-consuming, and it is wasteful. And why? Why do I insist on not belonging? Why do I tear myself apart from you? When you are the arms of the ocean and I am each and every wave and each and every drop. Why do I escape from my reality and only seem to look at you askew and think, what's the matter with us? What's the matter with me? What's the matter with you? And why am I here? But if I take another step upon that beach, like a sea turtle about to lay her eggs, knowing that I may die in a fishing net, but that my children will dance against the ocean, submerge themselves in their dreams, and become who I am. That drop, that wave, that breaker against the ocean, and every single thing within.
All right.
All right. Dancing against the wave, upon the waves that push, upon the waves that carry on at Cush. We got this picture.
Rolling through the poets, Oh! I was like to jive with all the misfits up here. I've always done it. I've always jived. Why do I jive?
Because you can. He supports it. Awesome. Go, tear it up. Tear it up. Who are I to judge? The mind is not the brain. Science is not logic. Logicians are not always reasonable. Mathematicians may be logical, yet are they empirically intelligent? How often has intelligence been proven to be reasonable? Do you test all your thoughts to see if they're feasible? Does your cheese rest on your easel? The right thing should never be confused as the only thing for everyone. Noisy bike chain. He limped into town on a broken-up horse, wondering if he could make one more last. He meandered behind the pedestrians, wondering how long it would take till he would be prohibited in the crosswalks.
There was very small talk with a third world shop owner delivering second-rate service. The bottom line seemed to be, if it rolls, rent it. There's no room for professional sensitives in a buy and sell landscape. The bigwigs moved into the tallest secure trees to forget the forest floor. Now the ants need firewood. The pedestrians still glower at you if you pass in front of them. He wondered how long the tires would last before the horse whinnied and dropped to its knees. He wondered if the chain would break or the horse would buck him off. He became lost, wandering in the jungle as the noisy bike chain rattled. The horse seemed to scream in his dreams.
When will I be outlawed? When will the dishwasher be outlawed?
Never. You've always got to fight the dishwasher when you're a poet in America. And that's as it should be. You can't talk down, if you can't talk down a dishwasher, what are you doing down now? Come on, Phil, then Jeremy, then, I don't know. But we got Phil and Jeremy. Phil, get up. Where's Phil? Phil Pro. Come on.
This selection is from a much larger work. It's called The Pistoleros.
The pistoleros, that all or nothing should glance the wayward sides of yesteryear, that time when colliding with the principal phrase of singularity, the bombs of which lacked discordant templates, and the lord of chaos lost his stolid, stinging, tinsel marksmanship, a handicap, the tea makers who forgot a brand of rushed, cylindrical pantomime, scouring the core of everything hard, birded triangles of synthetic wax, cute, semi-active, nonchalant, super packer heroes battling for net neutrality, and how the pistoleros lose themselves in the ceremonial ones and zeros, the right digital blasphemies, and the distant paraphrased catastrophes, and in each of the 64 situations, an archetype of how time moves to prove that nothing ever accomplished by means of the holy insight of ingenuity ever can be lost. So for every circumstance, a pistolero pounding the pistons of every which the 23 sentences in possible triumphant dystopias manifesting no destiny. For that destiny is removed from us. Dios mío, ten cuidado. Somos animales de sangre frío. Me gusta la noche mejor porque la lengua del cielo hace llorando before todo es. Many sepulchral partum and the pistolero's bulging cruise missile necktie hangovers, cipher-precise punctuations at oddly angled intervals, and the beast pounds his clawed hoof in manticore of rotund plentitude, so our crash landings peel the perch from out of the bell jar, and in the gulp of ceremonial nectar, that monological synagogue of respiration, our teachers clad in blue jeans, pineal trips of spiral curlicues, and mind-space interludes that pierce every pistolero through gnarled jaws of clenching, jittering, the beast's splay comes out for time. Gasp! The hemispheric babble, that Babylon who knows and trusts the twist of your name, more enduring than the sparring hatchet hands of the pistoleros. None save the hatchets themselves, and the pistoleros snake the ribs of their midnight half-gallon carrot space. Eres tu, now, by means of a separate piecemeal pie American shade of angel, bracing the skyline like trapeze artists, midnight flapping, and we, dear readers, are the safety net for every wit and whim of the pistolero shade of mine altered discount frequency aisle blue hue of a register receipt tape tiding the day's march of infinite jest. And are you laughing yet? Are you laughing yet? Are you laughing yet? So many temples piled upon the vacant mass of scorched earth. And in the test tube, vials, legions of damned manifestations, groaning, cucumbering, feckless franchise mongers of fractured sweat glands, and the pistoleros learn never to doubt the swells of their re-incantations. And in the codex of ninjutsu, hitu to hitu, to no adikara, nuwa, no doi hashimashite, nature's hero, favoring respected antique mantras. And those who say what soul amidst the stockpile of cadavers, the trail of empire paved both forth and back, that could turn a cold shoulder and do nothing.
All right, come here, bro. Come here, bro. Come here, bro. Our first multilingual poem on stage at Cush. Can I get an amen? Come on. What are you going to do? Sit there and clap politely? No, we're going to fire up these poets. We're going to get something going on here. That's what I'm talking about. All right, WWE makes appearance there. We got Jeremy, Jesse, Stephen, Jon, and then we're closing with Andrew because he got here late and I'm teaching him a lesson. So Jeremy, come on up, and then we got Jeremy, Jesse, Stephen, Jon, and then closing out with Andrew. Okay. Alright. This is the intro. I'm like a boss right now. Alright. I'm gonna stop drinking that coffee. So, this was yesterday. Took a walk in the woods with some friends, knowing soon we'd reach the water's edge. Though we haven't been there much, it's okay, and we couldn't stay anyway. Those little flyers who only live for 3 days, so desperate to feed, to mate, thousands of them, little selfish me's, pinching our flesh, making us bleed. Maybe that's the beginning of things, frenzied desperation, so desperate to live that any code of ethics becomes meaningless, ugly, uncomfortable. And yet I find virtue in this. The will to thrive is so alive in the little old me's that fly and die for blood. And all the various tiny quantum things that make up everything, scintillating with electricity, mindless, nameless, yet singing a subtle and amazing fire to grow and grow. The mind stopping me from the most basic instinct to explode. Tired, spoiled, maybe lazy, confused, not really listening to what I should do. The mind, however, can overcome a desperate reality and create something completely new. The mind. The mind can remain in the desperate beginning and create nothing but something like a heart attack, denying the constant need for evolving combustion into anything. My friend said native Indians in these lands used to let their little vamps feast on their legs, faces, and hands. And after 3 days, their bodies felt no more pain, their flesh growing a balance of 1,000 markings of the bloodthirsty little old me's. Does everything really have its place? And I mean everything, even the things that seem crazy wrong at first. Then I've got to go to the heart of no more sorrows, the easier birth, so to speak, the overcoming of subtle frustrations. And he said that he let the vamps feast. He let them feast on his skin. I don't know, I just know I gotta go to the heart that comforts the mind in time to run with the desperate fire that comes to remind the whole of things that this time is right, for something new, for something. Don't know exactly. Okay. What about the pain? What about the pain? Can I get through? Can I understand you? Am I smart enough, strong enough, belong enough? I have to get over the alienation if I'm not accepted or otherwise. That's not my boring, repetitious, stale, cold, wayward station. Flying. Trains, no coming? Nope. I'm the conductor then. Maybe I'll come with no more judging. You'll see I'm trying. And if that's not enough, then I'm not dying because of you. Though I am. Conductor taking the wheel, no need to heal because it's healing. Go, 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 insane. It's okay, to the water's edge. To be with those who can take off those clothes that
constrict the heart from knowing this, to be with this, with those who can disrobe the heavy of yesterday's temporary tattoos. You push me into complete symphonic understanding of nothing besides this. Blame you? Why? There's a river between that keeps hinting my cells. Afraid to swim? This mingling has always been, and it hurts to part the waters. Lies. Lies. The rains bring you right back into me anyway. Blame you? Why? This water course more than just 2 or 3, or not bigger, not small, not anything mentally, not something to say exactly, so just gotta go. At the water's edge, where everything has its place, and rest a little.
Everyone stand up! Everyone stand up! Stretch toward the sky! Stretch toward the sky! Oh, stretch and really go Now sit down and listen up. We got 3 more to go. You can do it. You can do it. Come on, Jesse. Get up here. We got 7 minutes on everyone else. Tune in.
All right, thanks. I open my eyes. My eyes are, no matter where. Every time I stare into the universe, I see sparkle black darkness and unawareness, awareness, and complete total chaos. Love is the root of all suffering. Oh, sorry, rewind that backwards. Suffering is the root of all love. No. Okay, sorry. We got turned around. The pages didn't exist. When you went back to see what you thought you had missed, you really did miss. I thought that something reminded you daily in every breath. If you could only capture that breath, something might smell like a rose. Or maybe you can go down to the river, take a swim, and take off all your clothes. And maybe I'm just rewriting poems that I already proposed. Now, yeah, that was pretty quick. Although, was it me or did you already know? We're live here at Cush, Eugene, Oregon, the heaviest place on the planet Earth.
The heaviest! Heavy!
Oh, I forgot. Look up and smile. There's a sign in the clouds that tells you every time the rain hits your eyes, it's not acid rain, it's forest mist. We're in the Northwest. Don't forget, please. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the sunshine. It's summer. My name's Jess. I have a napkin here with a symbol on it. Can you guess? Is it a Mercedes? Or the edge of a crystal?
Upside down stick figure?
Or a cropped piece of something? This poem never ends. It's like all those songs and stories that you thought were interesting. Wouldn't that be great if it never did? Now that you know it does, you could take a rest. Wow. Now when you wake up, do you think you feel more impressed? Ta-da! Thank you.
All right, let's get a little musical. Come on, guys. You've been waiting here, lounging in your shades and stuff, looking all retro 70s millennial stuff. Millennials, what's with them anyway? I don't know. I'm an old guy. Still do my poetry the old-fashioned way. I write it on my computer. Although it's not up to date and probably wholly insecure. Come on, guys, get up here. Now remember, what are we doing? I don't know. They said they had a guitar. I said, you got any poetry to go with that? They said, yeah. Remember, you can cook an omelet up here if you make it poetic. I don't care. Redefine dialectic of what poetry can be in performance. Do it. Dream it. Be it. Talk yourselves out.
AKA one of the most amazing people that I met in Eugene.
Free flow from the heart. One of my good new friends that I've met in Eugene.
There you go.
This amazing place that I'm traveling to. I just want to tell you, I'm here because of you. And you all inspire me in different ways. And I'm listening to exactly what you say. Trust me. I do it every day. A long way to come, share what you have, and tell you that I've tried so hard. I want you to know that I love you. Because it's the only thing to do is love every one of you.
Oh, man,
I'm gonna get everything from you. You're it. As long as you're with me, I'll take you around with me. I'll have fun. I'll tell you I've been doing this. Sounds fun. I want to hear what you're doing. I want to hear everything. It's beautiful. Everything. All so famous. I can't really speak. That's basically what I'm learning. I'm going to tell you exactly about me, but then I want to take you through what you got, because it's beautiful. That's why this guy so many beautiful things.
I just wanna talk to you. I wanna talk to you. I don't wanna talk too much because sometimes I talk too much and sometimes I offend people, and it's what I do. I hope I don't offend you, because I've seen it before. I've seen a lot of things behind your closed doors. I see it in my mind, and I want to share what you've got. I want to share everything you've got. If you're going to share with me, I'll share with you, and I'll share everything that I've got in my closed doors. There's so much more. Dabba-dabba-doo, 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 dabba-dabba-doo. I'll share it if you will, I'll share it if you won't. I'll share everything, because it wasn't mine to begin with.
Crawling around on the floor. Get out here. Get up here. Oh, wait, I want to play the Oh, yeah. What's it about it? Get on my stage. This dude's from Australia. That's what I'm talking about. You ever meet an Australian in a foreign country, you better run, brother and sister. They're going to have to make you all night long. And into the next day, and into the next day.
And next thing you know, you don't know you're up on stage and Bush doing the yabba 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 yabba.
I cannot do this, I cannot do that, I cannot do this, I cannot do that, but I tell you what I do know. Every Tuesday at the most dog act yet at Cush. For the daughters out there, that was your act. I love your look. It's so hip. I want to be like 24 again. So I wear shades and no shoes and color. I go yabba yabba and have everyone go awesome. Thank you.
I mean it. Whether or not I experience it every moment of every day or not, at least in abstract, you can do me no wrong. So I said, this is life happening, and you're either okay with it or you're not. And we are sordid, splendid manifestations of Aphrodite and Zeus and Cupid and Satan and Jehovah and Jesus and ghosts of Christmas past rumbling inside our bellies and resurrection blooming from within cracked clay pottery and enigmas pondered and doted upon by scientists like Freud, snorting coke and wishing for his own death like the Thanatos. We have these few experiences which we examine and say that these are of God and juxtapose them against what is not God. But inasmuch as every demon and angel we encounter in our dreams is a projection of a self we haven't met, pleading from our subconscious to be recognized and dealt with fairly, humanely, introspectively, you see whatever is going on with us. This is us happening, and you are either okay with it or you are not. You either trust this process or you don't. You either see this as a grand journey unfolding in front of your very eyes, or you see it as the disparate accounts of contradictory messages that can never be meshed together. There is this place. And now I'm preaching to you, where blame does not belong, where you see so many of your fucked up interactions with people as them asking permission to be wrong in front of you without being abandoned by you, where you see vices as a glorious piece of the human condition that we could sacrifice our physical or mental health for what it is this thing affords us, whatever that is, where failures do not require faults, where you see sin as created by the gods for us, like beaches and libraries and cemeteries, that other people's iniquities, no matter how inconvenient to our present point of view of what we need for our well-being, is the inevitable balancing of the equation and the other sentient being trying to work itself out. And who are we to stand erect with a fist held tight, so cliche to curse the heavens, like so many people have done before us, thinking that we are the experts who truly get what it is that we need in this moment? No, we must move beyond that lie, through the lie. Though like all vices, that lie may do us some good, we must paint ourselves so large with colors the abyss gives us, that our center, rocking out with its cock out, cannot be cock-blocked into doubt that the final production will have us in it, whatever shape we may be taking by then, where viewers of this Shakespearean epic will walk away and say, I guess that is God happening. And you either find peace with it or you can't. This is the culmination of all moments, and all moments are the culmination of this. Like I said outside that coffee shop, commenting on the subtle influence of beer, nicotine, and coffee in that instant to you, and this is true. That human beings believe whatever it is that will help us get through the day. Whatever it is, atheists, agnostics, mystics, fundamentalists, believers in consequentialist, utilitarian, or absolutist theories of ethics. It is about time that we admit that though truth with a capital T is out there somewhere, the way we cross our T performs a very valuable function in helping us perform our responsibilities and then helping us sleep at night. And what is wrong with this? This is survival happening, and you are either okay with it or you are not. And sometimes it is unfortunate the way your survival is happening may interfere with the way my survival is happening. And we may have to drop one another in order to pursue a reality beyond good and evil unto ourselves. But I just want to assure you, all of you, that before I would drop you from the community of images of gods I love to worship, you'd have to really put yourself in the way. Like right now, I'm writing this in the library, and the woman on the computer behind me picks up her phone and says, I just need a friend to talk to who's not going to judge me. I just need to talk, and I need you to listen without judging me. And if you wouldn't be willing to be that person, there's something fucking wrong with you. But as I've said, I acknowledge your right to be wrong, because that may be the only way you may ever find what is right and know with conviction that it is fucking right. I say, move beyond, transcend the typical categories, structures, meta-narratives, mental postures, ways of thinking and believing which do not allow you to love everyone who comes your way, if even for a brief glimpse of a second into the putrid purity of their soul. I say, this is the spotless lamb, which covered in its own vomits and worshipping at the basin of a toilet says, I am clean. I am clean. Though my sins be red and scarlet, I am white as snow. I am sanctified by my admission that I am that guy, and this is what I'm doing. And we are those people recovering what we never got in childhood by doing this.
Yes.
For now, this is what is keeping us here, sane enough to listen to a sermon such as this. And while we're all problem solving for what that truth with a capital T is in this algebraic equation, I give you the liberty to work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. What is the fundamental forces of existence that work within us both to do and will of their good pleasure? So, while you carelessly flail around Caesar seizing bits of reality you'd be willing to sober up for, don't worry about me. I got me, and you got you. I'll do me, and you do you. And as we both do ourselves, I'm sure we'll all get done in a way that makes some modicum of sense like we have never been did before. And just know, you could never hurt me. As long as the me I identify with is the me that is me, but that is also you. You see, if we can find broad enough of a definition of you and me and we, we'll see with conviction that death is just another life experience, a passageway to be traveled and find what is left of us after we have disrobed. And I'm convinced that in that place of nakedness, so much more transparent than this world of clothing and tribes and styles, we are negotiating now what is left of me is what will be left of you. This red pill may put a lump in your throat, but it doesn't matter whether you call this good or bad, or from God or the devil. You either find resolution with arms wide and chest big enough to bring the cosmos into yourself, or you live a walking corpse saying you are alive, but never alive enough to be okay with the life that others are living. Our peace at one midst is not basically a moral problem, but a metaphysical, philosophical one, like sages in India have always said. Like David Hume noted, you cannot derive an ought from an is, for even a God giving the 10 Commandments couldn't give them without fear of hellish retribution. And a God prescribing imperatives is a description of a God prescribing imperatives, and not an imperative in itself. So even should you obey that God, you, my friend, are the final arbiter of what you obey or don't obey. Anything you can mentally apprehend at some level of reality to it, like rock stars saying heaven and hell are here on earth, and we respond with one voice that the millennium is a place in our psyche waiting for us to let go of later. You see, God is not asking for you to forgive anybody. God is asking for you to move beyond the need for forgiveness. God, right now, is asking you to see inside that every notion of yourself having been done right or done wrong is a socio-psychological construct with no objective or intrinsic experience, because blame is only valid at the lowest level of existence, or else God herself would need our forgiveness for this unforgivable suffering. Your life really is a series of divine sensations, and how you interpret them is what you make of it.
Woo! Oh, my! Cush, another night at On At Cush every Tuesday at Cush in Eugene, Oregon. Eugene, Oregon. We're awesome! Yeah! Wrap it up! Hey! Poetry lives! Afoot! Thank you! Go! Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Bring it on. That's right. Sweat it out, brother.
But that's reasonable.
It's all you. You got a phone? You got glasses? Am I picking up after? Awesome. Fly high, every night.
So we've got music and cool air and more coffee out on the patio. Come join us.
I like it's not really free, it's like a thought process of really just, it's when you just like, I just probably have to affect somebody, I'm not really grown for it, I'm not ready now. And, I guess, it's funny because like, my first reaction, your first reaction would be, even the, well, you can read the first. But then I'm like, actually anything that all of these things, there's a way that I can look at it that it would make sense. And I think that that's like, I like what you said about there's nothing that you're not really living enough if you even have enough hatred towards somebody else who you think does have right beliefs. And that includes people thinking that we shouldn't believe. You know what I mean? And so like that's more of me. I can relate to that because I've been with atheists, growing up that way. That's something that I've been really, I used to be really I thought that was bad for them. Brainwashed, but it's like, how am I really living? What kind of life am I? And then giving an example of it, I was so irritated that I can't like accept that other people, you know what I mean? So
yeah, and that feedback is kind of like literally connected to the culture, right? Because I've seen that the
really? Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. I guess it's like I feel like okay, yeah. I mean, also like I've grown up I've grown up with how I live and what I've experienced and not experienced what a lot of people believe in.
Atheism is just as indoctrinating as anything else.
That's what I heard.
Just like my parents can't help it.
Right. And it is kind of it's definitely like it can become. That's why I'm not anymore. I don't even think that way anymore. I don't even care what I am. I feel like, I don't necessarily think that, I don't know if I think everyone's kind of right. I don't think, if that's what you really believe in. I really like how you're like, sometimes they, the way you need to live, get through the day, or like have other people get through the day. And then there's a problem. That's just life. You know what I mean? It's just life. And it's like, I really don't, I just really like that. Man, I don't, that's kind of arrogant concept of that. I don't really understand. It's like, I start thinking that, and I start thinking these thoughts. And it's like really like changed how I work with it. I'm going to start here now. I'm not actually learning. And every has, and every atheist has it, and so does every religious group. There's always somebody. People are not perfect.
Dude, wake up from eating an alley.
You're really good. I can go. So,
I'm gonna yell my hand into stability right now. I always been able to get a fucking phone. Not yet. It opens to absolutely. Yeah, maybe I get it.
Oh, that would be best.
I forgot you like memorizing. Just like sit down like a massive.
Oh, I did not want to. I did not want to.
Mad human disease.
It's no trouble.
Is that the one you read?
Yeah, I read that one.
That was good.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that was really easy to read. And here's why. Because it's directly linked. So you read it. Okay, well, we're gonna.
Just like I feel it, man. Seriously, like I'm just working until it.
I don't have a way to frame it right. Me too. Yeah, no, just I don't know. I don't know. I'm all for it. I also wrote one. Oh, I wrote another one. It's called Sinister Sandy. Sinister Sandy. It's not at all how you think. I'm from Pop. Yeah, no, I'm from North Carolina. It's like 90. So, you see you. I totally am gonna read. Get out of here. Oh no, I'm gonna read Right? Yeah, man. I'll show you something, man.
So one thing I was thinking was,
Oh, we can go white lights there. On top of we've got a goal now. I can see. Because the resolution is different, and what we need is that mic.
yeah.
But yeah, we'll just take a day now that we know what we're doing.
Honestly, tomorrow might be my best day at 7. Oh, give me a shout from the other side of town. And
Yeah, I love that.
and if I don't hear from you, I do text. You take off your chat. No, I'm here. Oh, cool.
Look at that. Lots of ice.
Yeah, well, I'm a double chorus, actually.
Yeah, the same thing as the Girl Scout program.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, actually, Uranus.
Thanks for having an interest or one of the actors.
What are you?
My son's in high
I think so.
Well, since you brought up your actually,
Right here, play getting you nice, bro. Go ahead.
we're off, right? We're not on one?
I believe so.
Yes.
So I'm a query.
I mean, I'm at 0, 0, like that. 0. There's 23 there.
Kid, you are so fucking awesome.
Thank you, Terrence. I'm in that, baby. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'm kind of like a rock person. I love rock, but I'm too passive. I'm more likely to pick it up off the ground and think about it while it's in